Hey, it is Sue Rogers. Welcome to Sue Rogers Unedited. F words is what we're talking about today. Now, before you get offended, and actually, I believe that any of you guys who are my listeners at this point would not be offended by me saying F words. What we're going to talk about. Okay, I wrote a book over a year ago now, and it's called Flowers, Faith, Finding Your Way, and Other F Words. So it's not what you're thinking. I mean, some of it is what you're thinking. I do use profanity when I talk. And I don't think it's offensive. And anyone who does think it's offensive is probably not my friend or listening. And that is A-okay, because I want you to be around people that you like and language that you like. And if you like to use an occasional F word as an expression, you should be able to. And it's cool. But one of the F words in my book, well, clearly the whole title is basically F words. Flowers is one. And there's some really cool stories in here, you guys. I don't want to give away everything that's in here. But the other thing on the cover of the book, did you see this down at the bottom? It's a purple iris. It's my brand logo. So Balanced Day Life is my brand. If you don't know me and don't know my history and things about me, Balanced Day Life is my personal brand, which came about quite a few years ago with all of my knowledge of health and wellness and what I've done helping people and being able to share it and put it on a bigger platform. And this podcast has become a part of that also. Because mental health and talking about things goes 100% hand in hand with gut health, your physical health, your emotional health. Like, you guys, all levels of health are so connected. And I'm learning more and more constantly because I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. No one has all the answers. And if there is someone out there trying to tell you that they have all the answers, they're lying. Or they think they have them all, but they do not, because nobody does. None of us have all the answers. None of us will ever have all the answers. Flowers. There are some very special flowers that bloom on my property, and they bloom at really cool moments, or they have. And when these flowers would bloom, these moments that these things were happening was my first real awareness of being more in touch with seeing signs, because there is so much more to this life and so much more to the world than on the surface level. And if you are open to other things that sometimes just don't make sense, but you know in your heart and your soul that they mean something, and it goes along with faith. Okay. I have a very strong faith. Yes, I use F words, but I have a very, very strong faith. I grew up going to church, not to say that I think all organized religion is the best, because it's like there's some bad stuff that happens. But anytime to this day that I go into the church that I grew up in and hear the music and get what my soul needs from it, it is a very powerful thing. And you don't, like, now, thanks to 2020, I can get that same effect from my church online when I'm not available to actually get to church, which didn't exist before. So that's one good thing that came out of the Rona. Having faith. And that's another thing too. That's the only reason why I can see cool things that may not make sense, or that if you're not paying attention and your heart isn't open, you won't catch them. But having faith is a part of that. And oh, hold on. I gotta decline this call really quick so I don't get distracted. But there are, hold on one more second. It is. Nope, that's not it either. Let's pause. Okay, sorry for the distraction, but faith is so powerful, and having your heart open, you can see things. The other F words in the book, one of them that I really want to talk about right now, you guys, is fear. Fear is a huge F word. Like, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of that is holding you back in your life because you're afraid of what's going to happen, even though really cool outcomes can happen. Like maybe you're afraid to change jobs, but you hate your current job. Maybe your current job sucks, but the fear of not knowing what else you would do without the identity of that job will keep you from potentially leveling up to the next level. Just because you're not sure what's going to happen on the other side, that fear can be holding you back. And that's what makes fear an F word if it's keeping you from your true potential. And I don't talk about anything that I have not experienced. I don't talk about shit that I have not lived through or have not gone through myself, or that I'm not currently working on. Because I'm not saying I don't have any fears of anything. I'm trying to get through some right now with figuring out what next year is going to look like for Cole, who's graduating. What potentially getting out of California might look like, but not permanently leaving California, because there's a really cool compound setup that I've got going on here with my family, but being able to do multiple bounce back and forth. But what's the other place going to look like? And is it going to work out? And is it going to be perfect? Get over all that crap, because it's going to hold you back, and it's been holding me back, but I'm working on it. It is a progress, something in progress for me currently. Your effing happiness. That might be one of my favorite chapters in this book. You guys, it took me 4 years to write this book, from the day that I decided I was going to write a book until I actually published it. It was 4 years, and Skinny Sick is still on its way. It is my goal to have it published by the end of this year, 2023. I know I said 2022, but I was so wrong, because it's more than you think. I mean, if it took me 4 years to do this, why can't I give myself some grace and get the other one out when it's ready? Your effing happiness. You guys, your happiness matters. Your true happiness. Like, are you currently happy? Are you doing something that you love, or is what you're currently doing in life just what you're doing to get by? That is no way to live. Your happiness matters. We only get this one life. And I was actually just listening to Ed Milet today talking about how whatever it was that brought you joy when you were a kid. And it's so funny that you talked about this, because I literally have been working on this and talking with other people about it, and helping my kids remember it too, even though they're still young enough to know what they like right now. But what is it that you gravitated towards when you were younger? And are you still doing that? Because if you're not still doing something that you loved as a kid in some way, like your inner child is screaming for help and attention because you've muted it. And what happens sometimes, we mute that thing that we loved, is because people in the world will tell us, oh, you can't do that. You're not good enough for that. You need to put that away and do these other things now. I cannot tell you how fortunate I am to have had parents who supported things that I loved, which really was just dance. I loved dance and just wanted to dance. Dancing's not a super lucrative career unless for some reason you're willing to do what it takes to like sign your soul away to get some kind of deal. If you're a performer, at least when I was working on things. However, oh, and the other thing, like to be a performer and those hours are not conducive to being a mom. And the other thing I really wanted to do is be a mom and raise my kids and do that myself. And being a performer requires evening rehearsals and weekend performances. Now, if you have kids and they're going to school, and then when they come home from school, where are you and you're not there? Like, I wanted to be physically present for my kids, and I got to do that. However, I did go to college, even though college, guys, well, that's another podcast for another time. I went, and my degree was in the only thing I found it interesting at all. And guess what I do for a living? Well, besides talk now, I teach yoga and I teach Zumba. Yoga is all stretches I grew up doing in dance. Zumba is a Latin dance, but it's performing because I'm the one up in the front leading the class and they all have to follow. And it's like I'm putting on a performance for them because I want the people in the back to feel the same energy that the people in the front row are feeling. I'm living my dream. It may not look exactly how you want it to, but what is the thing that you loved as a kid and brought you joy? And get over that fear, that F word, and get it back in your life so you can find your effing happiness. And if you want to find out more exactly of what I'm talking about, because you guys, I can't explain a whole book in a like 10-minute podcast. If you have not read this already, and I'm sure probably a lot of you have, thank you for those of you and your support. But if you've read it and you have a friend that you think would love it, or a relative or whoever, or if you have not read it, get your hands on it. It is in, look, this is actually the hardcover, but it's in hardcover and paperback and ebook for those of you guys who would prefer to read it on your device and have it travelable that way. Travelable. It is on Amazon, okay? Super easy to get, especially if you have Amazon Prime, right? Not even paying for shipping. And then let me know if you've read it. My favorite thing, you guys, all over the internet, I share the pictures that I get of everyone from where they are reading this. There are pictures of this book all over the world, whether it's in the snow or the beach or the lake or the desert or poolside or inside just lounging with whatever coffee, tea, whatever you're doing. I love getting the pictures of wherever you guys have read my book from and actually seeing it in real people's hands. So Amazon, grab it. If you haven't already, grab a copy to share with a friend. You can, that's what I love about Amazon too. Not everything, but like you can buy something for someone else on Amazon and ship it for free from your account to whoever you want to send it to. All right, F words. Now get the fuck out of here. Throw one in there for reals, right? Thank you for listening. And Spotify, YouTube, Anchor. Go to my website, www.balancedaylife.com. I appreciate your listening, and I will talk to you guys soon.